It can shake you for hours when one simple word disappears and your mind rushes straight to the worst fear. You may be talking about something ordinary, coffee, the weather, a person you have known for years. Then the word vanishes. Everything inside you tightens. Your chest feels strange. Your thoughts jump ahead before you can stop them. You are not just looking for a word anymore. You are quietly asking yourself if this is how something bad begins. That is the part most people do not see. They only see a small pause in your sentence. You feel the fear that comes after it. It can happen in the middle of lunch. You are speaking, then suddenly reach for a simple word like drawer, calendar, or neighbor, and nothing comes. You know what you mean. You can almost feel the word near you, but it will not land where you need it. So you wait, you smile a little, you try to cover the moment, but inside your heart may already be sinking, because one missing word can turn into a whole afternoon of worry. You may replay it again and again. Why did that happen? Why that word? Why now? Has this happened before? Is it getting worse? Sometimes you remember the word 10 seconds later. Sometimes it comes back in the car, in the shower, right before sleep. And sometimes that almost makes it worse. Because then you think, if the word was still there, why could I not reach it when I needed it? That question can stay with you all day. You may seem calm on the outside, but your mind keeps checking itself. You may start listening to your own speech more than before. You notice every pause, every stumble, every small blank space. A normal conversation can begin to feel like a test. And that is exhausting. Maybe you walk into the kitchen and stop. You open a cabinet, then stand there staring at the shelves, trying to remember why you came. For a few seconds, it feels like your mind has gone empty. Then the fear rises again. Or maybe you're in the grocery store. You know what you need. You have bought it for years. Then the name slips away. You look at the shelf and feel embarrassed, even if nobody notices. You may tell yourself it is nothing. But later, when the house is quiet, it no longer feels like nothing. You may sit in your chair and think about it too much. You may wonder if you should tell someone or if that would make it more real. You may decide not to mention it. Not because you are hiding, because you are scared of hearing your own fear out loud. Sometimes family notices a pause. They may mean no harm at all. They may even try to help kindly. Still, it can sting. It can make you feel watched in a way you never wanted. And if you have already worried about memory before, that one moment can feel much bigger than it looks. Poor sleep can make it worse. After a rough night, your mind may feel slow before your feet even touch the floor. The room feels a little foggy. The morning feels heavier. Then if you lose one word, your fear gets louder fast. Stress can do the same thing. When your mind is carrying too much, even simple thinking can feel harder than usual. Grief can do it. Pain can do it. Worry can do it. Change in routine can do it. Even being too hard on yourself can do it. Sometimes the fear comes first and the missing word follows. You get tense. You start monitoring your thoughts. Then your mind freezes under the pressure. That does not mean you are imagining it. The slip is real. The panic is real too. But panic can make a small moment feel enormous. If you want, stay here with me for a minute. Take one slow breath and think about the kind of memory slip that frightens you most. Maybe it is names. Maybe it is walking into a room and forgetting why. Maybe it is starting a sentence and losing a word in the middle. Maybe it is repeating yourself and noticing it too late. Whatever it is, you probably know the feeling right away. It is not only confusion. It is shame. It is dread. It is the fear of what this could mean later. That fear can be very lonely, because word-finding trouble sounds small when you try to explain it. But the private feeling is not small at all. You may start testing yourself without meaning to. You try to remember old phone numbers, street names, birthdays, the name of an actor, the name of a town. You may do these little tests all day, not because you want to, because you are trying to calm yourself. But often it does the opposite. Because when you turn every thought into a test, your mind has less room to relax. And a tense mind does not work as smoothly. Normal aging can change the speed of recall. Sometimes the word is still there, but it takes longer to rise. That can feel scary, especially if you were once quick with words. If you have always been sharp, even a small delay can feel deeply wrong. But slower does not always mean dangerous. A tired mind can search more slowly. A stressed mind can stumble more often. A worried mind can notice every slip and ignore all the moments that went fine. That last part matters, because fear is selective. It does not quietly count the many things you remember today. It shines a bright light on the one thing you missed. You may have paid your bills, taken your medicine, called someone back, followed a recipe, found your keys, remembered a story from 50 years ago. But one lost word can still steal the whole day. That is how strong this fear can be. And if you've known someone with dementia, the fear may hit even harder. One small pause can bring back memories you never wanted for yourself. You may think, I saw how it started for them. Now every little slip feels loaded with meaning. That is a heavy thing to carry alone. You do not have to shame yourself for being afraid. Fear does not mean weakness. It means this matters to you. Your mind matters to you. Your independence matters to you. Your life matters to you. And of course it does. Sometimes you may avoid speaking as much because you are afraid of getting stuck. You may let someone else finish the sentence. You may laugh it off but feel upset afterward. You may stop telling a story halfway because the next word will not come. These moments can make you feel smaller than you are. But a missing word is not the whole truth about you. It is one moment, not your whole mind. If this fear tends to hit hardest at night, notice that. If it gets louder after poor sleep, notice that. If it grows when you are rushed, upset, lonely, or overwhelmed, notice that too. Not to scare yourself. To learn what your mind may be asking for. Sometimes the kindest thing you can do is stop turning one moment into a life sentence. That does not mean ignoring change. It means not deciding the worst from one small slip. Try this instead. When a word goes missing, pause before you panic. Tell yourself, I am having a hard moment, not a final answer. That small sentence can lower the pressure. And lower pressure often helps the word return. Another gentle step is to watch for patterns, not isolated moments. One hard day after bad sleep is different from steady change over time. Write it down if that helps. Keep it simple. Date what happened, how tired you were, how stressed you felt, and whether it passed quickly. This is not about keeping score against yourself. It is about replacing panic with a clearer picture. A third step is to protect sleep as much as you can. You do not need perfect sleep, but your mind works better when it is not fighting exhaustion every day. A calmer evening can help. Less late-night news, less mental noise, a steady bedtime if possible. Even small changes can soften morning fog. A fourth step is to reduce pressure when you speak. You do not need to force words out fast. You are allowed to pause. You are allowed to say, give me a second. You are allowed to finish the thought in your own time. That is not failure. That is giving your mind room to work. A fifth step is to build simple supports without shame. Write things down, use a calendar, keep lists, put important items in the same place. Set reminders on your phone if that helps. Use the tools that make life easier. Support is not proof that something is wrong. Support is wisdom. Another helpful thing is staying mentally connected to life, not just to fear. Read a little, talk to someone you trust, do a crossword if you enjoy it. Cook something familiar, take a walk, sit outside and notice the day. A mind under constant fear starts to shrink inward. A mind with gentle daily contact often feels steadier. And if you notice changes that feel unusual, keep growing, or interfere with daily life, talk to your doctor. That is not overreacting. That is caring for yourself in a calm, responsible way. You do not need to wait until fear becomes unbearable. You do not need to diagnose yourself at the kitchen table. You can simply say what you've noticed. You can describe the word-finding trouble, the timing, the pattern, and how it feels. That conversation may bring clarity. And clarity can be a deep relief. Here's something important to hold on to. Forgetting a word does not tell your whole future. A blank moment is not a prophecy. It is a moment. And moments can come from stress, tiredness, distraction, grief, worry, and normal changes in how fast recall works. When fear takes over, everything feels larger. The silence feels longer, the mistake feels heavier, the meaning feels darker. But fear is not always a reliable narrator. It speaks loudly, it rarely speaks gently. You deserve a gentler voice. So if you have been silently calling yourself foolish, please stop for a moment. You are not foolish. If you've been telling yourself you are weak for being scared, please let that go too. You are not weak. And if you have secretly wondered whether you are already broken, hear this clearly. You are not broken. You are a person who got frightened by something deeply personal. That is human. That's understandable. And you are not alone in that private fear, even if you have carried it quietly. Sometimes the deepest comfort is not a grand promise. It is simply knowing that one small slip does not erase a lifetime of thought, love, memory, skill, and identity. You are still you when a word goes missing. You are still you when you pause in a sentence. You are still you when your mind feels slower on a tired day. Nothing important about your worth disappears in that moment. If anything, this fear shows how much you value staying present in your life. That matters. So the next time a word slips away, try not to rush straight to the darkest place. Pause, breathe, let the moment be smaller than your fear wants it to be. Then gently ask what may be going on today. Are you tired, stressed, rattled, lonely, distracted, recovering from a poor night? Did the word come back later? Did the rest of the day go better than your fear admitted? These questions are softer, and soft questions often lead to clearer answers. You do not need to battle your mind every hour. You do not need to punish yourself for being scared. You can meet this fear with more patience than panic. That will not solve everything in one day, but it can change the feeling of tomorrow morning. It can help you trust yourself a little more. It can help one missing word feel like one missing word, not a verdict. And that is a meaningful kind of peace. If this brought you a little comfort, you can stay close to this channel. You can like this video, subscribe, or leave a simple comment about the memory slip that worries you most. And if you need to hear it one more time before you go, here it is. A missing word can feel frightening, but it does not get to define you.